At the 2023 NFL trade deadline, we heard kind of rumblings that the Detroit Lions tried to trade for pass rusher Danielle Hunter and that it did not go through for one reason or another. And if you recall, Brad Holmes being in front of the media right as the trade deadline hit, and he said that we traded for Donovan Peoples-Jones, he didn't look too happy. And part of me feels like he really did want Danielle Hunter. Didn't trade for him, didn't happen. Instead, we signed Marcus Davenport in free agency. And by the time of this video, we'll know if Davenport is out or not in Sunday's game. Now, there's many pass rushers that we could have taken a shot at during the offseason and a few we could have traded for. Well, I think it has kind of come down to the wire that if the Detroit Lions feel like their pass rush is not getting home, then they'll make a move at the trade deadline. But who could that person be? Now, there's a person that I think the Detroit Lions could go after, and there's this guy here that you see on the thumbnail. Could they go after him? I'm not sure. But other NFL insiders believe that it is a possibility that the Detroit Lions could make a move for Hassan Reddick. Now, back when Matthew Judon was available, I said that I would prefer Judon over Reddick, and I would still prefer that now, obviously, but that time is past. Now, the pass rusher that I think that will become available at the trade deadline, especially depending on how the team is doing, is Khalil Mack. It's very possible that Joey Bosa could become available as well. You're talking about last resort. Like, Bosa's going to retire after this year. We trade for him, give up virtually nothing. I don't even know what his contract is, and make a push to the Super Bowl. But I think that person will be Khalil Mack. But there's a guy right now. You already see him on the thumbnail. He will not take a snap for the New York Jets. I don't know what happened, how he left the Eagles, who could have used him during week 1. He went to the Jets. I don't know if it was a misunderstanding or what. This whole situation has an Everson Griffin vibe to it. Take that as you will, right? So will the Detroit Lions do this? I don't know. But I think this is going to be, I'll give you my thoughts on this trade proposal and what I think or would want the Detroit Lions to do. All right, so we're going to break this down in pieces. The first thing is first. Let's go to, there's a couple different things. First of all, the 33rd team, let me bring this in. 33rd team, okay, feels, check this out, 4 trade destinations for Hassan Reddick. Now, I made a video earlier this offseason, right as the season was approaching, that could Hassan Reddick be traded again? Okay, 4 destinations: the Chicago Bears, the Detroit Lions, the Tennessee Titans, and the Indianapolis Colts. Now, that's from the 33rd team, but I want you to check this out. This is coming from Jeremy Fowler, okay? Let me go back up. I must have missed it here. Right here, Jeremy Fowler right here, all right? From our Week 2 Buzz file, multiple league executives believe the Jets will eventually need to explore flipping Hassan Reddick via trade as the contract impasse has no end in sight. Then he continues, not sure they'll have a choice. Now, we're going to dive into that article in a bit, but there's a trade proposal that I don't know if it was by the 33rd team guy or Mike Payton, but Mike likes to put out trade proposals, but we're going to go over that one, and I want to know what you guys think. So this is tough. Hassan Reddick wants to be paid. He's already forfeited over $1 million in game fees. He will not play for the New York Jets. Like I said, I don't know what happened there. And this has bad move written all over it. It has not Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes type of guy written all over it. The one thing I will say is we don't know these guys behind the scenes. We have no clue. Brad Holmes has done things that I thought he would never do at paying money to his guys and the amount that he paid. So there's a bit of surprise coming from these guys. Now, and again, I don't know what Hassan Reddick is really like. I do know that Dan Campbell said if you're playing for a contract, then you're not a Detroit Lion. So all signs point to Hassan Reddick not being a Detroit Lion, not being a culture fit, but we're going to entertain it nonetheless. Now, here is what Jeremy Fowler, and NFL Insider had to say. Says, the Hassan Reddick saga rolls on with no end in sight. Both sides appear dug in as the Jets will wait for the defensive end to report to work. He remains on the reserve did not report list and just forfeited a $791,666 game check on top of the more than $5 million in NFL mandated fines he's accumulated leading up to week 1. Even those close to Reddick aren't exactly sure when he might reverse course and clock in at one Jets drives. The bad blood has boiled over. Now teams around the league are curious as to what the Jets will do if he doesn't show up. The options appear clear. Keep him on the reserve list until he reports or attempt to trade him closer to the deadline. And here's the key right here, closer to the deadline. Now the Jets could go either way, but check this out. Jeremy says the latter, which is closer to the trade deadline, is looking more likely. According to multiple lead execs, not sure they have a choice, an NFL executive said. They wouldn't get similar value back in meaning a third rounder, but it would be hard for the Jets to pay him at this point, and he clearly doesn't want to be there. Both sides badly mismanaged the situation, and the dispute has reinforced a harsh reality in trading for star players in contract years. Again, it has non-Detroit Lion written all over it. Teams will be nervous to make a trade for such a player if they don't want to pay him, a separate NFC executive said. That was my first thought when Atlanta traded for Matthew Judon, but it looks like he's comfortable playing it out. And I want y'all to stick with this here, comfortable playing it out. So I guess it's different. But if you make that move, you will have to be prepared to do a deal in most cases. Now, sometimes things aren't what they appear, right? Matthew Judon, he never really spoke. It completely different from what Hassan Reddick is doing, right? Publicly. Matthew Judon was there. He was there, and he said all the right things. Hassan Reddick, on the other hand, is not trying to report. He's not trying to do it. He wants to be paid. He's losing money because he wants to be paid what he feels is worth, right? So again, does not have Detroit Lion written all over it. But my thing is this: we don't really know what's going on. What if Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, the agent, Hassan Reddick's agent, is on the phone talking to the Chiefs, said he's always trying to get the team better. Brad Holmes said, right? Hassan will make our team better. Is he something we would want to deal with? I don't know that. They do, right? They have sources. They have people they could talk to. Outwardly, it doesn't appear that Hassan Reddick would fit the Detroit Lions. But then again, okay, Hassan Reddick could just not want to play for the New York Jets. It's very possible. I don't think he controlled the trade, meaning there was a no trade clause. He did not pick where he wanted to go. Maybe this is a thing saying, look, I don't want to pay for y'all. I don't want to play for y'all for what I'm about to get paid because we ain't about to do nothing, right? When people are starting, because I can't remember if Reddick was part of the team when the Eagles won the Super Bowl 6 years ago. I don't remember if he was. But when people are trying to, especially veterans, when they're trying to win, and like Brad Holmes said during his press conference, Detroit has become a destination. People are calling, hey, can I get my guy to your team, right? So the point is, Hassan Reddick, this could all be a game. This could all be theatricality and deception that he wants to get to a contender, and the Jets are not going to be it, right? He also wants to be paid. But what I'm saying is, as those game checks start to dwindle and that one game turns into 7 or 8, the trade deadline is week 9 now. So that's another game check that he would lose. His value will decrease. Now, it's all about, the Lions have money to pay him. They have money to pay him, but it's all about, is he a guy that would fit our team? Now, I'm about to give you my opinion in just a moment, and I think it's going to surprise you. But here is a trade proposal, and this is coming from A to Z Sports, and I don't know if this is coming from another source. Says the Lions would be financially prepared to make that deal, and with the situation the Jets are in, it really puts the ball in the Lions' corner to get him for less than they're taking on everything. So here's the trade proposal the Lions could get Reddick for. Okay, so now I understand this is Mike's trade proposal. You guys ready? Here we go. The Lions would get Hassan Reddick, the Jets would get a 2025 fifth-round pick and James Houston. Now, as much as I hear y'all comment, I hear you typing in the comment section, I'll give you why this could work, all right? Has nothing to do with my feelings on James Houston, but has everything to do with the reports coming out of Lions practice. James Houston could very well be inactive this week. Now, I'm just going to, this is all speculation from a basement GM, right? Basement fanalist. Is it possible that James Houston was kept over Matthew Betts and other pass rushers on the 53-man roster so that the Detroit Lions could potentially trade him down the line? It's not out of the question, right? If we put him on a practice squad, somebody could come take him. If we cut him, he is free to sign with another team. But could something more be going on than meets the eye when it comes to James Houston? Is he in the proverbial doghouse, as I saw in another article from John Macron on SI? And he actually reports on the team. He's there. He asks questions to these players and Dan Campbell and is James Houston in the doghouse with the Detroit Lions? I'm going to tell you what, I would not be surprised if he is, based on the things that we've heard coming out of camp before 2024. So Hassan Reddick for a 2025 fifth-round pick and James Houston. Now, I don't know. I'm sure with the fact that Mike covers the team, he would know if we have a fifth-round pick or not. I don't know off the top of the dome, but I'm just going to assume that we do. So here's my thoughts, and I think you're going to be surprised. As much as I'm not confident in our pass rush just yet, I don't know if I do this. I don't know. When you have James Houston, you have the upside. However, I'm all about a veteran pass rusher. My biggest issue is two of them. One is the money Hassan Reddick is going to want if he doesn't say, you know what? I mean, let's say Lions are 6-2, 6-7-1 at the trade deadline. And you're like, you know what? That team might win the Super Bowl. I go over there. Okay. He just changes 180, starts heading the other direction. We trying to win the Super Bowl, right? He's this year CJ Gardner-Johnson, but actually contributes to the team. Okay. So I'm going to probably have to pass on this. Probably have to pass. I'm going to have to pass on this. Because Hassan Reddick is a wild card. He's a wild card. He's the one out of all the pass rushers that we've looked at, okay? When it first came out with Philly, okay? It just seems like trouble. You know, I knew you were trouble when you walked in. That's what Hassan Reddick seems to me. So I would have to pass. I would have to pass. Now, if the Lions feel that Hassan Reddick is that dude and they trade for him, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad. Even if they traded away James Houston, I wouldn't be mad. If you trade away a 26-year-old for 30-year-old, you obviously see more value in the 30-year-old that you're going to have to pay. And don't forget, Matthew Judon was 31, Hassan Reddick is 30. And a lot of y'all be clowning on age. Most of the best pass rushers in the league are near 30 or over 30. You've got Khalil Mack, you've got Matthew Judon, you've got Hassan Reddick, you've got 30-year-old pass rushers that make some noise. So I'm not going, okay, I said most, that's a statement I can't back up, but a lot of them are over the age of 30. So age is truly nothing but a number. And don't forget, Brad Holmes likes the over 30 crowd. Bruce Irvin, Tyson Alu. So this would be nothing to Brad Holmes. But the thing is, would he be a guy that fits what we're trying to do? I don't know. And because I have to go off what I see, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I would pass on this, but if the Lions did it, I wouldn't be mad. So my personal opinion is I would pass. I would probably try to scout out somebody else. I would probably have my eye on a Khalil Mack, watch him during the season, watch the Chargers record. They're probably going to be in a tough year. Maybe they're willing to part with him. He will be a free agent next year, I believe. So, but again, do I think this is going to happen? No. Do I think the Lions are looking his direction? No. But a lot of stuff can change between now and the NFL trade deadline. And if you look at Brad Holmes, the way he reacted when it came to missing out or during the pass rush, during the trade deadline, you could see that he definitely wanted something that he didn't get. So we would say keep an eye out for that. So that's my thoughts. Let me know yours down in the comment section below. This channel is brought to you by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. Put it in the comment section below. Would you trade for Hassan Reddick for a 2025 fifth-round pick and James the Problem Houston?